Revealed at Opening Night Live, PUBG DeadNet is an all-new spin on the beloved Battle Royale, and here to tell us what it's doing to shake things up, creative director Dave Curd. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, Max. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so what is DeadNet? What is it? What makes it different from regular PUBG in a nutshell?
Okay, so pace and persistence. PUBG is 100 guys who's going to be the sole survivor. In DeadNet, we ask you to take a multi-match journey, gaining valuable new abilities, mitigating crazy injuries, all in pursuit of building your ultimate king of killers.
Okay, so it's got a little bit of roguelike to it.
Absolutely. We find that roguelite is the ultimate spice that kind of keeps me coming back for more.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about, like, I guess, where did this come from? Like, what was the inspiration for this? How did it sort of come to be?
Well, we're always trying to figure out what the next big fun thing is, right? Like, as creative director at PUBG Studios, I'm fortunate enough to be able to help with maps, modes, and experiences. And we lucked into this idea of what if a match, because PUBG is like the ultimate storytelling engine. So, like, we had this question, what if that story could last multiple matches? Now, that's not PUBG anymore, but it was such a sticky idea, we thought, we've got to go for it. We've got to try it. So, little tiny team, we stood up the idea of body persistence, of dragging a beaten competitor across multiple matches while getting them incrementally stronger, and we felt like we had something special.
Yeah, that does seem like a good, like, fundamental shakeup there. And you've also got you've got a distinct aesthetic here. Can you tell me what the significance of the title is? Like, what does DeadNet mean?
Thank you. DeadNet is short for Dog Eat Dog.
Ah, okay.
It's a twisted dark web streamed reality TV show where 60 wild competitors are trying to become the sole survivor and not trade too much of their humanity along the way.
And this is a period piece, is that correct? It's set in 1996?
Yes, it takes place very specifically in 1996.
Why was that the right year? Like, what was beside from being a great year?
Well, it was a great year, but it was a time of historical tension. You had one foot in the analog world, one foot in the digital world. You still had to use payphones on the side of the street, but you could start streaming stuff on this new thing they called the internet. You mix that in with the music, the grunge, the gangster rap that we feature in our game, and then also, of course, the weapons of that era. I have a soft spot for the guns before they got to future warfare. So yeah, you put that all together, and 96 made the most sense to tell the story we were excited to tell.
Nice. I feel like it has like and I mean this in a nice way, it has some like Dennis Rodman hair energy to it, you know? It's just sort of chaotic and a little scary, but pretty cool, you know?
We call it Grunge House. We're kind of mixing the 90s grunge aesthetic with grindhouse cinema to create our own unique kind of meat grindered view of the mid-90s. Because we have some technology that wasn't around. We have the ROMs. These are the effed up little game cartridges you smash into your meat to gain valuable abilities. So we're kind of slightly alternate history there.
I love that. Now let's talk about, you mentioned a meat grinder. You get knife hands in here? Did I see knife hands? Is that correct?
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff to your body in this game. You can remove those hands and replace them with blades. You can become a tiny little baby doll with drill hands. You can become a 600-pound, 7-foot-tall pig. It's all on the table.
Okay. And I guess this is all sort of luck of the draw, random drop kind of thing, or how do players come across this stuff? What's the gameplay loop there, I guess?
Essentially, as you're chasing ROMs at the very start of your run, you pick a very general archetype. Hey, I kind of see myself doing some sniping. Hey, maybe I'm going to be a little bit more support this game. But pretty quickly, as we go match to match, we're offering you powers that support that fantasy, or more interestingly, powers that don't. So you might start as like a door-kicking breacher type, but immediately get tricked into like, I should take that boombox power because when I get to play gangster rap, it heals my team, right? Or maybe I should become a sneaky snake and crawl on my stomach really, really fast on the ground, which you see in the trailer.
Yeah, my first thought there was like, is that like how penguins go down hills? But snakes are cooler, so that works for me. How did these where do these come from? Is it just like you're playing a game and you're like, wouldn't it be cool if we could blank and then just try it out? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the entertainment business. Like, our primary job is to, like, give players something they can't get anywhere else. And we had a whole backlog of crazy things we wanted to try that weren't quite the best fit for PUBG, but made so much more sense in this unhinged world.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the map, too? Is it a totally new map?
Brand new map. It's a 5.5 by 5.5 map, kind of based on a fictional Pacific Northwest. We call it Cascadia. And we really try to push the Unreal Engine to its limits with Nanite and Lumen. We've got the densest forests you've ever seen in a FPS BR like this, crazy detailed interior spaces. It's dripping with detail and offers so much more cat and mouse gameplay than you could get in previous titles. One quick example is, you're looting in refrigerators and lockers, and if you have the right ability, you can also hide in those refrigerators and lockers, and we play the creepy, like creeper breathing behind the locker. So it's an interactive world that the players turned loose on.
All right. Yeah. No, you guys, I feel like at a glance, I was like, what is this? Like, it's different, but it's hard to kind of glean how, but it's like you've got, different stylistically, different mechanically. What are some points of interest on the map you want to call out? Because I was looking at the site, and there's something about like a silly hole. Is that a thing?
Yeah. So thank you for teeing that up. That is Cryptid Cove. That's our kind of love letter to like Showbiz Pizza. But there's been a lot of pain, and there's been a lot of mischief, and there's blood and guts in the silly hole. So you have to kind of be mindful as you're navigating those deep tubes.
There's blood and guts in the silly hole. There's a box quote for you. What about vehicles? Anything new going on there?
Yeah, we have the Trekmeister, which is our love letter to that mid-'90s big American SUV. Some of the features that you won't get in probably any BR is you've got to wear your seatbelt.
No.
You got to wear that seatbelt, or if you're in a big crash, you will go right through that windshield, and sometimes that might be what you want for gameplay.
I'm into that.
You also can, if you have the right abilities, you can tear the door off and use it as a riot shield. And in the back of most trunks, there's a little bit of a workbench, so you can replenish your ammo, you can create med kits, or you can even repair your armor.
Okay, so hypothetically, if I was not wearing my seatbelt, which I do, I'm safe, I'm good. If I were to go crashing through the window and I had that snake ability, could I go from midair into sliding?
You will go very far, and people in playtest use it to get position on other characters. So the meta is the driver, safety first driver, wears the seatbelt. His passengers don't. He crashes into a wall, launches them.
I'm going to say that's a mode of traversal that hasn't quite been done to death yet. I think that's a bit novel there. What are the plans to roll this out? You've got a closed beta happening, or what's the plan?
Yeah, we're encouraging everyone to get to DeadNet and sign up for the beta. And soon we want you to play it with us, because we know from our experience on PUBG, making the game with fans is the only way to make games.
Okay, and you're doing PC first and then rolling out other places? Or what's the...
We're actually developed console first.
First, okay.
We're all old school console guys, and I myself love playing on the couch, kind of 8 feet away from the TV. So we wanted to make sure everything from gun feel to the UI UX on a screen across the living room, we wanted those console users to feel very cared for. But of course, we want everyone to play DeadNet. In fact, if I can get it working on those like Samsung TV refrigerators, I'll try to get a port to that. But the beta should be console.
Sweet. In terms of just, I guess, like game turnaround time, is it sort of smaller rounds? Like what's the usual time frame in getting a match in, or a few matches?
Yeah, so a run can go theoretically as long as you can push it. The upper ends, internally when the devs play, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches feels like a pretty good run. Then we get it out to the community where the real gamers live, and they can push it up to like 15, 20, and you see the real hardcore players. But when you sit down for a single match, if you hot drop and get wiped, you're out in a quick 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
If you can make it to the end, you're looking about 25 to 30 minutes, and then you're into the out game to choose powers and injuries for your next match.
Huh. That's really interesting, because I feel like battle royales are generally like the clock is ticking down. There's a pressure behind you, whereas roguelites, it's generally the opposite. It's like, yeah, one more round, let's see how long this can go. It's like you're seeing how long you can carry it out. How do you see that changes how people approach the game like strategically, or is there kind of a have you seen people who are like really good at PUBG, Battlegrounds jump into this and just get the floor mopped with them?
What you'll see is that every player starts off with what's fresh and with what's familiar, rather, right? They're like, if they're snipers, they're looking for a sniper build. If they're support, they're trying to pick up that support build. I think where our game shines is kind of mid-run, when even though maybe you started support or started sniper, we start tantalizing you with maybe powers that you wouldn't normally consider, like, do you want to play dead? Do you want to use a boombox to get your team fired up? And that's where you start to kind of have these mutant builds that aren't where you thought you were going, but then you're kind of glad when you got there.
Interesting. Is there anything else you want to call out in particular?
I think like something really neat about the world is how maybe reactive it is compared to PUBG. A good example in PUBG, if you see a window, you can just crash right through it. Makes a little bit of noise, but you're in the building. In our game, you can slowly and silently open the window. You can slam it open really quick, but it makes a little bit of noise. You can crash through the window like PUBG, but then you leave a little pool of glass on the ground, and if people step on that glass, it makes noise. And then maybe you turn on a little bit of music so they don't hear you walking on that glass. So our world is just a little bit more tactile and gives players a little bit more of an opportunity to make strategic, weird, interesting plays than in previous titles.
Interesting. Yeah, I love how you out the gate, you're like, this is not about realism, but also a little bit is. Like a little bit more mechanics in there. That's interesting.
It's definitely a Hollywood realism. Like, we want players having the fantasy of, I'm doing what it takes, I'm sacrificing flesh for power, I'm in this desperate survival situation, but we want them to have fun while doing it.
Sweet. Well, PUBG DeadNet will be coming to consoles sometime in the near future, but there's more Gamescom Studio 2026 coming up right here on IGN. Stick around.